down EG in 2-0 fashion have started that pathway to Paris.
Cloud9 will start on the attacking side, and as Josh was mentioning on the desk, we return to the scene of a pretty brutal performance from 100 Thieves on Haven. It was discombobulated, it looked disjointed, it looked disorganized, but there's a chance at redemption here against a team that probably favored in this series, I would say.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at predictions coming into the game,
Yep.
A lot of people have been leaning towards Cloud9, but I don't know if it's so clear-cut. We'll see how this map pool continues to develop, with C9 starting here on the attack side. It is worth mentioning that just looking at these two comps, Cloud9 playing a comp straight out of 3 years ago. 100 Thieves a bit more cutting edge, playing agents that didn't exist in the Neon, playing Yoru who had footsteps back then, but C9 still been successful on that and already trading in mid.
Yeah, some of those mid fights that were problematic in the past. This time, Austin was there to be able to trade it back, but the number's still the way of the attack. Cloud9 have full C control. They're going to be in a really nice spot here.
Oftentimes when Oxy gets taken down low, he'll go on a bit of a walk up, but Mitch healed him all the way up to full. It's a big advantage to have here in the post plant, already up numbers.
Paranoia, gonna push him back just a little bit more. Austin managed to dodge. Now we'll tip his toes back into the site.
Mitch even has double flashes still as well, so the stall from Cloud9 is immense.
There's the first. Stun out, you imagine dash from sword, the double swing is not enough. Oxy and Mitch hold the line, EU's the last to stand, and it will not be for long. Cloud9 take the pistol.
Impressive that Oxy was able to take this C site without much support from the sky, just dashed up into a cloud burst on top site, deleted the side anchor for 100 Thieves. And Cloud9, if they're able to play with some pace here too, try to break open these rounds. There you have him actually getting into the site. Again, no flashes going into backside, so in the post it comes so easy for C9 to play this.
And no scan backside either. We've had a similar conversation on Corrode, and there you kind of see it would be significantly easier if there was a scan, but only one back there. He's able to take the fight and win it out.
So Oxy online in round one, sitting 3-0 after a poor performance versus Sentinels. This is exactly how he wants to start it off. One's all right, I suppose, but Io has managed to hang out inside that smoke back towards spawn.
There's a flashback sight, the smokes to make sure there's no one ahead of it. Very nicely done.
100 Thieves do this a lot on their early eco rounds where they're threatening the flank. EU's back in spawn trying to break out a Killjoy turret. There's still an alarm bot that Zeppa will be holding. More than likely though, we'll go back and regroup with his team.
100 Thieves trying to figure out, do they try to play this out? Do they just play for exits? And instead, the orbs have been donated to Cloud9 as Mitch gets 2 on the round, about halfway to having his ult online.
Not too shabby for him.
No, not at all.
To be fair, Cloud9's comp, one of the reasons why I think the Sky has sort of fallen out of favor, even though it was pretty strong back and past on top of just nerfs and things like this, this comp from Cloud9 has no real get up and go ultimates. You know, you've got a lockdown, I suppose, but that can be countered out by Hunter's Fury on the other side.
Sure.
You just don't have that same power to breach a site like you get out of something like the Yoru on the other side. What this comp allows Cloud9 to do is play much slower, drawn-out rounds, make use of the Viper Wall, especially into the A space, to force 100 Thieves to leave 2 players, actually hold on to that forward A control.
100 Thieves do have 2 players posted over there right now, prepared to fight for that very same space.
I think we saw actually a couple days ago it was 100 Thieves on this map that allowed that short walk up behind the wall versus G2, and then Austin is shot in the back of the head while he's trying to hold solo down long. So these are going to be the adjustments 100 Thieves have had to make. They've been exploited here in the past, but have had some time to try and work on it.
A couple of trips, Kess's utility will make this hit significantly harder. First tag onto the trip, Oxy makes his way through. Vic on high, Paranoia drops down. This double dive essentially for Kess is too much.
That was so clean from Vic, entering the site, using the util, playing it off it as himself as well. Just everything for Cloud9, and 100 Thieves are relatively scattered. Austin had walked all the way down A long, so without him in a position to speed up, 100 Thieves are really taking their time, expecting there to be a lurk in mid, because they haven't seen Zeppi yet into the round, so dashing around, spending 5, 10, 15 seconds. It's about time to go.
All right, time is precious here. Don't really have...
Wow. I like this from Vic. He's playing inside of 100 Thieves' own one-way, and the time is starting to go.
Ratty, a little spot, 1 for 1. Again, the clock has been ticking for a while. They're calling the save.
Hello?
This is a disastrous start for 100 Thieves.
A round 3 save against the bonus with 3 players surviving. All because Kess got destroyed on the site, and then 100 Thieves spent forever worrying about this late lurk from Zeppa.
On their map pick too.
But watch this pathing. First, right, Vic teleports up top, then drops the paranoia that he plays off of beautifully. It's nice from him.
Yeah, and we've talked a ton about...
Yo, are you guys even gonna try? Come on! Let's go.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's Net. That is the demon, that is the menace that he has become.
That's Net at like a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of room to go in this series.
100 Thieves might not, though, if they don't figure out some of these early fights.
They do still have guns to fight with. Some spam connects onto Vic. But C9 realize, okay, it's a heavy fight into the A space. We'll just head over towards C.
One quick difference here. Cryo has already TP'd over. Xander's close by as well. Last time they bullied Kess. This time he's got help. He's got reinforcements. And Oxy peeks on the other side with smoke, able to get the kill onto Kess, but Xander there for the counterpunch. EU pops his Hunter's Fury. And it's Bedlam on the site.
That ultimate to assist from EU is critical. Brings things down to even 2-on-2. So then the question becomes, how can Austin get back into the site? Hasn't been critical in the round so far, but already has opened things up.
Chris, before it, Net could pop off in between rounds, but can he do it now? A 1v2. Already spotting Asuna, forced to take that fight. Very nicely done by that duo of Asuna and EU.
He was talking a big game, maybe came a little bit too early for Net, with Asuna getting back into the site. And this is a round where I think both teams had different ideas to come into the C site. Like you mentioned, Cryo quick on the rotates, him and Xander get into the site. But even, you'll see in the replay, Oxy changed his pathing. The previous round, he dashed into plat, didn't actually play for backside. This time he gets that first kill, but it's Xander popping out of the smoke, and EU's ultimate. Again, EU's utility. Raining in kills for 100 Thieves that keep them alive in the round.
Yeah, and that tells me that 100 Thieves are going to want to do these like brawly floods. Forget about trying to fight through the retake. You're going to flood out onto the site and deny before it even happens.
Yeah, that's what you want with this double duelist comp, the fast rotates of the Yoru and the Neon. The issue that can sometimes be posed for the fast flood is when there's going to be Killjoy mollies going to choke points, Viper mollies as well, the Viper orbs. The chokes out of spawn can be harder to work in. So 100 Thieves need to preempt these rotates, and we've already seen that 3 players slip towards A, where there was only the one 10 seconds ago.
Quick note on where Cryo's TP is. In case he does need to get out of dodge very quickly, can rotate back to C site.
Dart quickly broken, but C9 are going to use their dog into garage. Kess has been bullied a bit over towards the C site, left on an island, but now the refight.
That paranoia is good. Oxy still better.
He just holds it down. And 100 Thieves on the run. By the way, into garage. A Viper has been left. Now Seekers to support this lurk. Net can move behind these Seekers and advance into these 2 players of 100 Thieves.
Couple of cabbages getting attacked. Net tries to jump up into garage. And it's quickly shut on, but the blades from Oxy are just so clean. So 3v3 now on the side, and once again, it's going to have to be Kess. Able to get his one, will delay for just a moment. Will buy just enough time.
This is a huge round from Oxy on the Bladestorm. That kill down long, staying alive, getting the trade into garage, now challenging the spawn line.
But how much more can the Surgeon Scalpel find? Make that 3. Mitch takes the 4th. Cloud9, take another.
The steadiest of hands from Oxy. Putting up a highlight round, and that's a econ breaking round from 100 Thieves. Watch these again. Doesn't get connected on the paranoia.
Thought it hit both initially.
And then it's just heads from there on out.
Guys, let's go, Francis. Let's go, baby. Baby, hey.
Early timeout from Zix here. I mean, they're down 3 rounds, yes, but not really wanting to let this get out of hand, I guess.
I think we've been seeing this from Zix when early swing rounds are lost, when their econ is shattered. He likes to call these timeouts when it's a light buy 400 Thieves. And you even think back to yesterday's match versus Evil Geniuses. There have been a lot of thrifty rounds going 100 Thieves' way. Even in the loss versus G2, they were able to win a lot of light buy rounds. So oftentimes these have been very effective for the team, and Austin has got some tools to play with, right? You've got the Neon ulti. There's definitely some more aggressive ideas 100 Thieves can operate with on that plan. But their Sheriffs have also just been very sharp when they are in play.
You just saw Emi there on his screen with this on your screens, with his special book. That's gotten them up 3 rounds, light buy on the side of 100 Thieves, as you mentioned. But you imagine Austin Azult will be a part of the conversation here in just a few moments.
You'd also expect 100 Thieves maybe to start flipping up the Cypher on this eco round. Kess is already headed towards A. But with the amount of bullying that's been going on towards C, C9 getting free reign over Garage, I like that already 100 Thieves have an idea to fight a little bit more towards mid.
Is there a crunch here?
I think it's a walk down initially, using the Sheriff to hold window. Not even that. This is now the second or third time we've seen Net drop this orb on front B. Very strong lurk orb, because if Cypher utility isn't on B, a player can walk out the left side or the right side. And what that does is it forces 2 members of 100 Thieves to play on the B site whenever the orb goes up. Otherwise, there's always going to be these gaps of information. But when 100 Thieves are already stacking 2 players towards the A site, you leave huge question marks in Garage, and if you rotate off of B, again, that starts to open up.
Cloud9 making a little bit of noise towards A, where all of the, really all of the defense of 100 Thieves currently lie in wait.
But I think this is just good calling from Cloud9. Show that presence, expect 100 Thieves to overstack on the light buy. So again, they can move back towards C, where Garage has historically been weak. And they can contact in as soon as they don't see anything. It's going to be very evident that the rest is empty. Once there's no tripwire here, nobody's on site.
Right, a flash into Garage, and they mosey out onto C with no resistance.
But a flood from Xander.
Yeah, but the dam that is Cloud9 right now is just too strong.
Austin can sprint all he wants. Actually sending the ultimate. C9 not expecting it at all.
Hang on, they've got the wall up too. Keep an eye on Zappa on the minimap. He's well out of the play here now. Will be in a position to contribute. Net joins the fray.
And for a moment, it's like 100 Thieves are spread out so they can get some silly kills. They can find one there.
That's another silly kill.
That is a gun on the ground, but with no smokes alive from 100 Thieves. Actually, I tell a lie. There's 2 cages for Cass. Playing long may end up costing C9.
Time is so short, but they're going to go for it.
100 Thieves need pressure on the spike immediately.
First shock into Covey, not connecting. EU winning out the fight. Cass has already gotten to half.
Wait, they're not sticking. Now they are. Yeah.
Who's going to stick it?
What are we doing? What are we doing? That cannot be a mistake C9 are making on an anti-eco round, up in numbers, dropping the player into Garage. And yes, if you just look at the screen, you say, okay, Omen is dead, you can play long. That is typically the right play, but not versus a Cypher. Those cages last long enough to full stake the spike.
And so what was their flaw there? What went wrong? Were they just not aggressively fighting on site enough?
Yeah, you just literally cannot fall back into long, because then it becomes a 50-50, do you win the spam?
Right.
But inside the cage and where the spike was planted, there's full range to defuse the spike from.
Oh gosh, they're pushing down long too. 4 members of 100 Thieves.
This is the first aggro look for 100 Thieves here though, held by Vic.
Has to be careful here.
I don't think C9 saw more than 1 or 2 players though, so they're not speeding up into B like you maybe would have expected. Dog doesn't see anything A short, so they're fairly cautious on the approach.
A flash and some high ground from the duelists. Vic is not far behind, and here comes the flood again. Hellbent on refusing to relent control of the site. And 100 Thieves arrive at just the right time. Yeah, they got the spike down, but they have full site control. Oxy's tagged up, taking a ton of damage off of these shots already, down to 48 HP. And once again, a spam situation. Zappa's got to be able to relieve some of the pressure. That's exactly what he does. No paranoia in play here. The flash from Cryo will buy a little bit of time. What can Mitch do? The swing out from the window, and Mitch gets 2.
Okay, Mitch. That'll get it done for C9. Even with all the pressure of the fast flood on the retake, to me it looked like 100 Thieves had the right idea. Get in quickly before the next cycle of Viper smoke. And yet, this fight here, bit silly from Xander, and then no one can really find their mark. A bit scattered. EU wasn't with his 2 teammates that were swinging immediately into the open. And it's in those details that a guy like Mitch is just gonna tear you apart. I mean, 10 and 4 apiece between Oxy and Mitch. It's sort of the story of this game.
Austin has taken this really aggressive line with Cryo close by. The flash out is bait, but it's only good for 1.
Yeah, the pistols and the Hunter's Fury actually gets the kill onto Net. And now look at mid. 2 players stepped outside garage. Zappa spots it out.
Cass had a rifle.
Yeah.
Maybe Xander can scoop it up. He will. No armor on the remaining members of 100 Thieves.
Seekers in the 1v3 is just checkmate as well. Perfect info.
I mean, we just had that, what feels like 2 rounds ago.
I mean, when Mitch has 10 kills
Sure.
in 7 rounds, he'll take it.
That shock will hurt. EU's playing just on the other side of the smoke.
Yeah, players in short and long, though, is really uncomfy for C9.
There's danger here. 2 rifles have been grabbed by 100 Thieves.
Oh, so let's just go into their spawn. Why not, C9?
40 seconds left. Xander with a lot to do, and he hears all of it.
Yeah, EU has preempted this as well. He's already into garage. Perfect timing from him, even with just the classic. Even Cryo coming in for some pressure, so C9 don't even fully commit over to the space, but do they expect the player in window?
You should run.
Cloud9 are on thin ice. They have to be careful. No, they had no idea. It's EU who had the classic. An earthen pod among brass, and that nets the kill.
The lockdown will slow it down. 100 Thieves both coming in from C-Link, and Cryo alone front B. This fight against Mitch is everything.
He's got so many angles he has to check. He's outnumbered. He's out of position. Off the clone, tries to swing, tries to take the fight. And 100 Thieves snatch another one away.
Huge round out of EU there on the classic of all things as well. And it's that split-second call. Once EU realizes, oh, C9, they're not actually planting the spike on A. That call comes in from Xander, hearing the footsteps going towards B. He makes a mad dash into garage window. Completely unexpected. He also, remember, spent the Hunter's Fury at the start of the round.
Right.
And he's done that a few times in previous games on these ecos, investing the ult. It's a big risk, but it pays off massively.
Nice!
2 rounds between these two as Cloud9 call a timeout. They've got a couple of ults. The pit, probably the most compelling here as they go into the next round, but
I mean, I still think the game plan for Cloud9 is working. It's
Sure.
gotten messy in the last couple rounds, you know, when they fall into C long in the post, and then here in the 3v3, just getting out-rotated. I think their actual attack in terms of, you know, the slower-paced macro to usually bully into Kess at the end of rounds has been wildly successful. They just need to clean up in the post plants, get back to playing together. Been too many players shot in the side or the back of the head, for my liking.
And, you know, it reminds me of what you were saying earlier around the Thrifties, that 100 Thieves seem to have a knack for converting.
They do, and I really do think it's been EU so consistently. You look at all of playoffs, even the loss versus G2, EU has been an incredible performer, consistent.
Yeah.
One of the best fraggers every single game. His utility, excellent.
He has been their rock.
And that's been mostly on the fade, but already here on the Sova, stepping up to the plate in crunch time.
11-4 right now. Trying to lead his squad through a comeback and get back onto equal footing.
100 Thieves have spent a lot round after round for the A short control, but as C9 go back into garage, as has been their tendency, Cryo is here.
And a trip will help.
He kind of shies away from it, though.
So they know there's nobody playing close. They'll spot this trip here in just a moment, clear it out, and then they can reset the map.
25 seconds of the round, already a trip broken. Now C9, though, need to freeze, probably put some pressure into re-clearing short. Mitch never used the dog, and he's always going to hold on to that. The re-clear, though. Oh, no, Zeppa. Just a 1-for-1.
Cryo steady hands, not far off. Meanwhile, Asuna flushed out by the dog. Sniff through it. EU not able to contribute. And now Cloud9 can just accelerate A, but keep, never mind, Xander was in the right position at the wrong time.
This is just Cloud9's flowchart. It's get into the mid space after sending a couple bullets A lobby at the start to keep those players stuck there. Break the side for utility, and then go back and make sure 100 Thieves don't have the forward post in A lobby. It's pretty predictable timings, I would say, overall. And yet, the dog catching Asuna just means the round's effectively over.
Time to jump.
Do you think are they misplacing the value that they're placing into controlling A main at the beginning? Do you think it's
I think controlling A lobby is incredibly important on this map, and you have to prove that you can do that on the defense. The issue I think 100 Thieves are running into is how awkward it is to fight around this attacking Viper wall. Because you could see EU had made it over to A short in time to try and set up a crossfire idea with his Neon. There's even a paranoia coming in from Xander that's trying to catch some players in lobby too. So they had tools to fight with. It's just both of those fights end up being completely 1v3 out of 100 Thieves because the wall cuts them right down the middle.
And so either they continue to try to solve the Rubik's Cube that is this Viper's wall in A main, or they just try to control the other areas of the map, I guess.
Yeah, and you'll see it here again. The dog from Mitch, it's great pathing too, because Asuna thinks, oh, the dog's going short, I have a timing. No, gets caught. And then EU not in position to trade again. So the adjustment from 100 Thieves. Don't miss Oxy, come on. The adjustment from 100 Thieves needs to either be get in front of the wall and post there with an op with probably your Yoru.
Oh no, they're going back to bullying back C. Double dive once more, Oxy first. Vic close by, striking where it hurts. Vic gets two, and this is the round.
The CXX are just unbeatable. Austin has come into the site. It's a Stinger, though.
A Stinger into a 2v5. I mean, a weapon upgraded for the Duelist.
Okay. It's a 2v3 now. Out of nowhere.
Opportunity to make something out of this as EU gets another one. Perhaps opportunity to pull another rabbit out of the hat for 100 Thieves. And that's Zeppa spotted. You know where he is, but Net's position concealed. Now given away.
I'm out of here.
They've got to get on the spike here. Just a tap. Patience on the swing, but it still falls into a 1v1. Asuna tries to take the fight to Zeppa's doorstep and will.
No time.
Not enough time.
I've got to say credit to Austin and EU. There have been a few of these C retakes now that just seem completely impossible for 100 Thieves.
Until they're not.
And then somehow winning these fights. C9 getting a bit caught off guards by utility, not in position to trade each other all the time. But still, I think the entry pathing, just what C9 have drawn up in the playbook between Vic and Oxy, changing their pathing ideas round to round as well, has been unbeatable. Kess has had no solution into the site. The only time the hold is working is when his teammates are popping out of smokes back CT or garage and getting 2 or 3 kills on unassisted.
And so they've moved him to A like we saw a couple of rounds ago.
I think this is good. They can ignore the A lobby space a little bit more, not get caught on the reclears. Just bunker in behind it, but how many rounds of 100 Thieves just had their econ broken?
And show a similar look. If I'm not mistaken, this is... Yeah. The same anti-eco.
You're right, with just Xander playing a little bit solo C. Now, EU does have Hunter's Fury again for the light buy.
Right.
C9 wasting less time, maybe playing in towards C long.
Right.
Getting ready, maybe even hearing that jump peek. Here we go.
Remember how good they've been in these thrifties, and this is a far cry from that. They have a Guardian, they have a Phantom.
Cloud9 were expecting the trap play to actually be there. Now actually probably going to head back into the Cypher side.
2 trips, 1 down short, 1 down long, and a cam on site.
As soon as the dog sees the tripwire, it's just full steam ahead. They know this side of the map's going to be light. Didn't actually get the info, so they slow things down a bit. It'll be a fake hit into the site. Mitch throwing his last bird while the rest of his team plays garage.
This could be a problem. There are 3 members of the defense here.
20 seconds.
Asuna pops the ult, swings out. Vic clotheslines him on the other side. Remember, the spike is here. They're going to get out, but they're going into 2 more on
Kess is still in the smoke. Kess is still on site.
Oxy has high ground. Kess is dealt with. Cloud9 somehow get control of A.
The ugliest anti-eco of all time.
I mean, it doesn't...
But it's a win.
Right, it doesn't have to be sexy, I guess, if it works.
Unreal. With 20 seconds pivoting back into the A site, Vic's up in heaven. Okay.
That's just how they drew it up.
Unclench, it's all good.
Cryo left with a stinger. Yeah, I mean, sure, it counts. The round is still theirs.
I mean, if Mitch is not playing short A there and killing Kess.
Yeah, Kess saves the round.
Exactly.
It's very likely.
And again, if Kess gets 1 kill there, everyone on site, you stop planting the spike. Oxy, who's boosted up, turns down to look at Kess. That Heaven player that had rotated in from 100 Thieves is now getting kills.
Right.
Then you use Hunter's Fury, like 1 kill is the difference between C9 getting burned on an anti-eco again or not.
Yeah, and that's Mitch at 12 and 6, and even those small positionings there, that one kill being the drastic difference that it was. Yeah, Cass was already looking at Oxy. I mean, that's like a second difference on the round. So into the last round of the half we go. Ult for EU, as you mentioned in the previous round, 13 and 7 for him.
But Kess is back to playing C. C9 challenging here early on. If they realize it again, I don't see what exactly stopping them from the pop.
Xander's here, the TP for Cryo's already here, and look at EU, has already rotated C.
Yeah, he's on that side. But 100 Thieves have 2 players up into A. This dog around the 105 mark has pretty consistently gone back there to deal with those 2 players.
I mean, listen to the map right now.
I heard the call from stage. They're going to clear back into A.
Just silence. And so, yeah, they make a little bit of noise. They insert someone B, and that's going to pop the ult from EU.
He tags the one. That was just off of the dog sound from Mitch. So now the team is walking back up into front B, where Xander is backside with a paranoia ready, with EU able to swing off of it.
Some of the defenses you hear, Cryo just took a TP, he's all the way back A. The paranoia is going to be so good. Xander connects, but now the pit in play.
It's a mess here on the site. Austin on the flank as well.
EU's in the pit. EU's in the pit, but he's dropped.
What is happening?
Xander tries to provide a little bit of value up on top of Jenny. And Zeppa understanding there is threat, cannot find the target. Net left in a 1v4. What a retake from 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves just went full chaos mode. Xander's doing hardcore parkour on the top of site, while the rest of the team is just up in the mud with Cloud9. An absolute brawl for it. But really, that was just a creative idea from EU. The Hunter's Fury to cancel out the dog, and it sends Cloud9 into disarray.
This was probably the most impressive for me. The paranoia, and then the kill onto Oxy, and then, as you mentioned, Xander with high ground. It was too much, and Cloud9 had no real way to deal with that.
I'm just a thorn in their sides.
They fell into the trap completely.
Cloud9 up for it half, the second half of Haven on the other side of this. Stay tuned.
Game changers.
We're making history.
It means so much to us.
The beauty of gaming is it doesn't matter who you are, but as long as I'm good enough, I can go as far as I want.
全世界都会知道我们的厉害。
Red Bull gives you wings.
The Thieves find themselves down 4 rounds on their map pick and have to find a way to get past this to maybe take it to Icebox and see how things play out. Christy, elimination is on the line. There's 1 spot left for champs, and NRG is lying in wait.
Yeah, still that road ahead. Winning today is not enough for either of these 2 teams. I think C9 have done great work at putting themselves in a beautiful position here with Icebox on the cards, where they just took down Sentinels the other day. Closing things out here would put them in a beautiful position, especially with the way the duo of Oxy and Mitch have been playing. I've been nothing but impressed by those 2 players.
See what the adjustments are on this half. We made a high note of it, and honestly, Cloud9 did too. Intentionally tried bullying C, tried bullying Kess, and well, it worked. 2 and 10 at halftime, but for that to be exposed the way that it was and to still only be down 4 rounds, going into the attack side of Haven almost feels good in a way. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not good,
I wouldn't give
but
it
not terrible.
good. It doesn't feel terrible per se.
Sure.
I think these rounds have been getting so muddy at the end in typical C9 fashion that there's always some sort of an angle to fight on through. That angle for 100 Thieves here is going to be down C long where there's a single nano swarm to defend.
I love that trip. Covers both short and long.
Yeah, these delayed trips from the Sentis, even one put out after round start in mid for earlier info of the B-pop and to stop anyone from getting into cubby.
Cass has to understand there's a lot of threat behind this. He hears the dog. He knows the trip has been cleared. He's tucking.
Ooh, I think that could have seen him.
Yep, he's trying to get out. Meanwhile, Xander pushing forward, trying to help out a little bit. Paranoia is traded.
Xander?
He
All
gets
right.
2 again. And now the dash out from Oxy. Trying to play aggressively, trying to take this fight, but there's a crunch coming in from Corrode. There's a ton of trouble for Cloud9 here.
Cloud9 fully overcommit out of long, and because Kess is just toying with them, doing a bit of a dance, C9 get pinched onto.
Well,
Okay.
you know.
And then he aces from here, right? No.
Right, no. 100 Thieves get the pistol. They need it to stay in this fight.
I think good reaction there to the push out from Cloud9. That's one of those rounds where it can be hard to stay level-headed and figure out what the winning line is. 100 Thieves recognize it though, and I think even looking back at the last round of the half too, 100 Thieves making that round super chaotic, getting a flank of their own going. Maybe that's the solution for them. Instead of allowing C9 to play the controlled pace they want to with the double smoke and the Senti, 100 Thieves can bring the fight to them, play on their own terms.
Inject a little chaos and see what sticks.
Why not?
There's a little chaos at Zeppa. He will succumb in the face of that pressure, and so now, Cloud9, yes, they invested everything C, but they can rotate and try to approach this from a couple of different angles.
Yeah, this time not sending 4 players on the flank is a good idea, I'd imagine, although outmatched by the rifle sitting in A lobby.
Spike planted.
I mean, they don't have any guns here to do this.
But honestly, all Cloud9 are trying to do in these early rounds is set up the idea that these flanks could be coming online, putting that pressure down in the minds of 100 Thieves, because in the future rounds, once C9 have rifles, they should not be flanking. They're going to be flooding in behind their Viper utility, playing behind that very nicely.
Real quick, want to call out Kess. Yes, these were eco frags, but this was also on a rookie who was 2-10 at half. And so were those kills in the grand scheme of the server significant? No, probably not. But when it comes to confidence and when it comes to getting this kid in a comfortable position to be able to try to mount this comeback, there's something to be said about that.
I'm going to be completely honest, Doug. I don't care about those 3 kills at all, but what I do care about is what Kess was doing on this same stage yesterday, right? On his Brimstone.
Sure.
That's what, to me, would have really built him up into this playoffs run and getting him going. So if he is able to use even these early rounds, like you're mentioning, to get a little something going, he can be a difference maker for the team.
That is a lot of threat from 100 Thieves. And that's where Zeppa died just a few minutes ago.
Any more bullets you want to shoot in there, 100 Thieves? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Cryo will gladly do so. Oh, hello. Right, okay.
Okay. And now here's where there could be a little issue for 100 Thieves, because Cass is a guy that doesn't play 4 lurks too often. He's playing that solo short angle, ready to pop out into the A site. So C9 already have 3.5 players onto this site already, can respond quickly.
Asana's gone out by himself. He's got like 2 HP. I mean, a stiff breeze knocks him over, but he swings and gets a kill anyway.
What?
Xander follows.
One enemy
Vic
remaining.
from hell gets a couple of his own.
Standing. Spike
Left in a
down
1v1.
A.
Cass on the other side, remember his woes in the first half. Forgotten now. 100 Thieves get to 7.
Now those are some kills I can get behind, Doug. Cass clutching up in the final moments there for 100 Thieves. They're going to think back as well to an 8-4 half in their second map of Corrode yesterday, where things started in a similar fashion, getting this snowball going for the team. Now led by the rookie when things looked a bit dire. Vic getting those 2 kills,
Enemy remaining.
but Cass keeps his cool.
Down A.
And again, I mean, this kill was perfect, but Asuna swinging out, Weak still getting that kill backside, really opened things up. And so 100 Thieves are on 7, Cloud9 are on a busted buy. They've got a stinger in the hands of Zeppa. Currently playing B right now. but thrifties. I think that's the big one here.
Yeah, it's about keeping it clean now. We'll see if 100 Thieves just want to make it a for sure thing. Cryo always has the ultimate to clear away the close spots. Cass is not ready.
Oh no.
And 100 Thieves were just about to come back into him, so it's a little early from the rookie. Now this drone comes in, sees the jet down long, but doesn't tell them anything more. And there's already 4 players stacked into C.
We'll say it is consequential that Oxy was not able to pick up that outlaw. Just out of his reach.
EU has stayed towards A, and without seeing the re-clear, he now calls his teammates back in. But again, it could be a timing problem. If EU activates before his team gets there, all of a sudden Oxy could make something happen into short. But this time, 100 Thieves are patient on the approach, and Cryo will have to use the ult on the ante.
They're going to flush him out. Oxy has no dash.
There we go.
He's just going to take this fight. Paranoia plays behind the smoke into the swing. EU's there to greet him. Meanwhile, Cloud9 trying to do a bit of the same of what 100 Thieves were doing to them, flooding out onto the site, but they do not have the guns to do so. EU gets 3, and we're tied at 8.
Again, great work out of EU in that round. Things get messy once they lose Cass, but calling the freeze and holding his ground. I think as soon as he realized that, oh, C9 on the eco round aren't actually stepping anyone up into the forward space.
Right.
Hold on, we can come back into the site, just use the ult, it should be no problem. The one loss is, of course, having to use the dimensional drift,
Good
but
shit, Dan.
that is the right call there, down a man.
An op in the hands of Oxy here. Fighting for this A main line. Meanwhile, 100 Thieves not concerned, not curious whatsoever. They've got their attention elsewhere.
Yeah, if they come back into A, it'll be now with EU's drone. He pops it and does see the operator finally into play.
And so immediately they rotate away.
Yeah, 100 Thieves now can't get back into A because they didn't scale behind it, so it has to be a C hit, and C9 know it. They've got 4 ready.
No ults, though. But they do have plenty of personnel lying in wait. Asuna trying to forge a path, and he cannot. Zeppa with the kill. A turret kill, no less. Cloud9 in a really nice position here.
Cass is way far up, and the dog doesn't see him, but he's trying to shoot some bullets. Now he's stunned up in a whole world of hurt. His team on a mad dash to the A site, and he survives.
But Oxy might have this op line. Oxy's going to have the op line here, but the TP diving in, committing.
There's no smoke for heaven.
Oxy, oh, just barely missing. And now Heaven smoked off.
Spike planted.
Oxy from on high, looking for the tiniest of windows to make a play.
Trades the gun with Mitch.
The tip of the spear, looking to find a way in. Off the flash, the paranoia timing from Xander's perfect. Swings in, tries to take that fight. Mitch connects. EU has to 1v3. He's been so good, but not that good. Cloud9 take the round. They take the lead back.
Mitch has been having an absolute day. He throws the short stick there, up in hand. You see him giggling because he drops out of him. His whole team is blinded up. They can't actually get into the site.
Right.
He drops anyways, and no one's there to hold him. Still manages to get the kill. Look at that. 100 Thieves get a bit lost in the sauce there.
Let's go, baby, come on.
That's an evil laugh.
He's a demon.
He is up to no good. 15 and 12 right now.
So 100 Thieves, after seeing the operator post into A last round, now want to put bodies in here so they don't have to lose the drone on it.
4 ults for the defense, by the way. Oxy posted up short, gonna get flushed out by the drone. You see it there. Wait, he was never spotted.
Austin is down on 34 HP though. Now the smoke makes it hard.
Oxy's proc the dash. He's expecting a challenge and it's not gonna come.
Flash doesn't get a tag either. That was from Cryo actually.
Oh!
Hard hold.
Huge out from Xander. And Mitch flashed down short and got a tag, so he should know there's some threat here too.
And Ned has moved over into him, but winning this fight on short is what would lock up the round. 100 Thieves are going to leave Asuna on so little HP while they rotate away. And it pulls the Omen ulti. Vic responds, has to cancel.
And the Seekers We'll try to find whatever's left on the side of 100 Thieves. A couple of cabbages cleared out in A main. Zeppa swinging behind this. Beautifully done. The timing's great. The flash is good too. The Sentinel holds the line for Cloud9. And that's a spike. Well out of reach. I don't know how Asuna gets back in.
He can't. It's a high-low, hard on the right corner here. He's one tap to anything. It'll be a save call out 100 Thieves. And even then, I'm not sure they get it. Vic has been creeping down C-Long this entire time after he locked up Garage.
Going to be clean pull. Asuna spots him. Vic patient with it. Gets both. 3 on the round. As Cloud9 gets to 10.
C9 just having Zeppa slip into that B site. Chalks everything for 100 Thieves. Because that paranoia didn't connect onto him. Right here.
This was such a perfect timing too.
And this was a C9 that very nearly over-rotated into the round, you know?
Nice, Vic! Boo boo.
You're mentioning they had almost over-rotated into that.
Yeah, but Vic, I mean, going back to the C site, no problem for Cloud9, so it'll be 100 Thieves calling a bit of a timeout. Number one issue to deal with is the Jet operator, which I think they did a great job with in the previous round.
Agreed.
You know, knowing that Oxy is never a guy that's going to fall back to a passive angle. He wants to get back out into the space. And Xander had hard held him down. But now I think for 100 Thieves, they've realized in these last 2 rounds, it's the post plant where it's an issue. Where C9 have gotten players into sight that no one's looking at. We remember Zeppa in that last round, but remember the one before where Mitch drops out of heaven and no one's actually looking at it? Like,
Right, no one's holding that, yeah.
These are easy issues to have in the thick of things, right? Just someone didn't realize that was their responsibility. They're not proactively thinking about it. And I think Zix needs to make sure the team is thinking about, as they're hitting the site, who's got what line, especially in the more spread out or chaotic rounds.
Those are hard things to communicate and figure out in the chaos of a site hit, in the chaos of a retake, but you're right. It's those little things that have them at 2 rounds down.
Especially when C9 are playing this comp with a million smokes on site, mucking things up, making it very complicated.
No real choice there for Oxy.
So 100 Thieves, Zix calls, show the same presence in A lobby this time, except instead of just sitting 4 players there waiting for the Jet reclear, we're now going to move towards B. Oxy has a similar idea to not actually go for the re-challenge, now switching positions with Vic. And the dog only saw a sight for onshore A.
Oh, trying to clear the trip. The flood comes out. Those 2 nanos hurt. Cryo might hurt a little bit more. That's a second utility kill from Zeppa, by the way.
And Mitch just dominates the lurker. I don't know how playable this is.
I don't know that it is. And if it wasn't before, it certainly isn't now.
C9 with just a solid read there. Understanding that 100 Thieves are going to try to make a slight adjustment to the previous round this time, have a stack towards B. The double nano on main 2 just chews up 100 Thieves.
Xander had to play it perfectly in order to have a chance, and he got his 1. But there was just too much left to do. Cloud9 get to 11. Again, this is 100 Thieves map pick. Icebox is lying in wait. 100 Thieves are in a bit of trouble here.
And honestly, attack has been a little bit tough for 100 Thieves in their previous showings. They're a team that actually prefers to play a lot more into the early mid-space, fight for that.
Right.
Have tried to change things in this game.
Go, baby! Come on!
Turning their attention onto A lobby.
Let's fucking go. Hey,
Oh, that one slipped through. Don't mind us.
But yeah, this is 100 Thieves' typical default, always breaking these double doors to have some spam in case they get a later tag. Asuna challenging, and oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Spotting Asuna on the cross and then punishing.
Well, you can't keep going, 100 Thieves. Full Killjoy setup on A, so nobody's home there. There's 5 players between C and B. Good idea to try and get back forward into A lobby, but even then, the double nanos on A plus the Viper Orb, you're going to get stalled out for forever on this side.
And then even if you do manage to get past that, Zeppa has his ult.
Yeah, to force them to play the long lines on the eco of all things.
Time to jump.
C9 kind of used Zix's timeout against them, it seems. Great read in the last round, now playing things completely by the book.
So again, they've managed to clear all of Zeppa's utility here. They got past the nanos, they got past the alarm bots, and now the lockdown becomes a problem.
And C9 aren't even worried about a late mid-lurk because Mitch used a flash, didn't ping anyone outside front B, so this lockdown they know can't be destroyed.
Xander and EU find just a bit of cover, just outside of the lockdown, but now you see the flood coming out onto the site. The spit will push them off that early angle. It's a tap the spike. Now a second. A smoke to cover the captain, but he falls, spammed into the smoke. EU gets a second with the shot. Oxy pushing the pace into short. Hello, that's not going to be enough. Vic's got the defuse. He's going to stick it the whole way. And Vic does it again. Cloud9 gets a map point.
That's just silly, man. 100 Thieves, by all accounts, have won the round, kill absolutely everyone from Cloud9. But because they're pushed off-site against the lockdown, it's just simply a full stick from Vic. That's what they call him back home.
Yeah, that was his nickname in high school.
I think so.
That defuse was perfect. Oh, and they know they've gotten away with one. Straight into the next round we go. The pit invested down long on a drone to try to clear the way. They're fully investing into this garage hit.
That's out of it.
And there goes the pit. But Vic has arrived. The paranoia is good. Zeppa cannot play right now as Austin had dashed up just as well. Flashed through. He's behind enemy lines. That's the round.
What? I don't think anyone saw anyone. Everyone's blinded up. C9 on opposite ends of the map. Oxy and Mitch have been so good for Cloud9 without a chance to even play the round. And so, okay, I guess 100 Thieves may be the solution, like we saw at the end of Corrode yesterday, is just start running execs.
Fully send it and see what happens. Cryo will get his ult off of planting that spike. You imagine that will be a factor in the next round. Note, EU has his as well. The Hunter's Fury Dimensional Drift combo is devastating. A bit foreshadowing, yes. 100 Thieves still have to navigate this, but you imagine they will be able to do so just fine.
Yeah. And remember, I think it's important to say Cloud9 don't have really that high impact ults.
Where are you going, Mitch?
Yeah, he's not gonna ninja.
What are you doing there, big guy?
One enemy remaining.
He's out of there. But when it comes to these late rounds where 100 Thieves need to stick 3 in a row together, having those ultimates like you called out does give them a distinct advantage.
It gives them a chance. And the truth is, the gap is not insurmountable. Cloud9 I mean, this map is not secured by any means.
The other thing is, if 100 Thieves just want to go to the Let's Run Hard Exec playbook, Oxy doesn't really get to play the game.
Yeah.
Because that means you're using all of your util at the round start, so there's not pockets for, you know, Oxy to sneak around early slow plays and find a pick. That means you're either pushed away by utility or forced to play retake. And the op does not like to live in those types of situations.
Oh, they're pounding C.
Yeah, that's the solve. Just full down long too with the Dimensional Drift.
The TP out first, the Dimensional Drift, and the Hunter's Fury. Looking for any target that might be found. And Vic gets away. Houdini's himself out of the sight.
Yeah, EU tried to predict the teleport, but was just slightly too early.
But look, they got what they came here for. They have site control, but Austin is down. Oxy with the op.
Oh dear.
And the lurk comes through. Kess down too. A 5v3. Yeah, 100 Thieves got the site, but there's more left to be done. Cryo turns the flash, it's beautiful, but net counters. EU has to 1v3 to keep this map alive. And that will not be the case this time around. Cloud9 steal 100 Thieves map pick on Haven.
Looking good out there in the server as well. I really liked what I was seeing out of Mitch. Even some of the madness he was doing with his bird pathing didn't give Kess a chance to go for a lurk, whether it was his utility or even just hard clearing those angles himself.
I mean, flying out from heaven, getting op kills.
Oh yeah.
On site retakes. This guy's a menace.
That to me really did feel like a Mitch and Oxy show, especially on the defensive half. Well, they cruised away to lead.
Dude was even